Jeremy, thank you for being here. Back to your best this year. Well,
Yeah.
leading time, 44 low, once, twice.
Yeah.
How'd you feel?
You know, early in the season, I kind of felt a little rusty, not being able to get a lot of strength work training in the first few months of the season. So it was a little slow and kind of nerve-wracking for me because I was getting frustrated. I really wanted to run fast early and show people that I was coming back, and it just didn't work out that way. But after U.S. Championships, I was able to refocus and finally got my strength going down. And each meet after that, I pretty much ran faster from there on. Lausanne was the first race I came out there and got the world lead time again. And then Paris ran a little quicker. And then, of course, my last two races and forgot where they were.
Zurich.
London and Zurich.
Yeah.
London, I forgot that one.
And Split.
And Split. It was a great feeling to end the season the way I did with the two low 44s. A little disappointed I didn't get down to the 43s, but it gives me something for next season to look forward to.
Talking of which, what are your objectives for the season to come?
Well, to stay healthy for one, I want to go out there and make sure that I get my strength in early in the season. I've been training for about 3 weeks now, so slowly getting my strength back early, so that's going to help come March, April when I first start running. Really after that is to go to U.S. Championships and make the team. That's my first objective, and then after that, go to World Championships and reclaim the #1 in the world, and hopefully get back down to the 43s at least twice next season, and slowly build into the Olympics.
You mentioned training, still training in Waco, Coach Hart. Tell us a bit about.
Towards the end of last season, I saw something in Coach Hart that I haven't seen probably in about 4 years, and I guess he just found a new spark in it, and he's been excited. For a while, he was getting tired of traveling. He didn't know if he wanted to travel as much anymore, and all of a sudden, towards the end of last season, just something hit him, and he was enjoying himself. It was just like it was in the early '90s when he was with Michael. So this season's going to be exciting for both of us. And hopefully we both can just go out there and get me ready from early on and run fast early, and then continue to do that throughout the rest of the season.
Any questions?
Definitely no indoor? Indoor season, no?
Usually that's a no, but I've been thinking this year I might try and run in Arkansas probably in early February. And if I'm anywhere near the indoor world record, I might go for it at Tyson. But I don't think Coach Hart knows that part yet. Still need to talk to him about that one.
Okay. Arkansas where?
Arkansas is next to Texas.
No, which city?
Which city?
Oh, Fayetteville. Fayetteville.
Fayetteville.
Fayetteville.
Fayetteville.
Fayetteville.
Very important.
So I guess looking back, 2008, the switching coaches and stuff, you talk about coming back. Is that really what you're coming back from? I mean, how do you?
No.
You've had 2 years now to kind of. How do you view that now?
I don't look at that anymore. That's the past. Last season was a great build-up for me. Was able to overcome some injuries, and that was the main thing that was happening. The 08, 09 was I had a knee problem that was really messing with my hamstrings, and I got that taken care of at the end of 09 season. And then so last year my hamstrings and pretty much my whole legs were feeling real good, and I was able to get some strength slowly towards the end of the season. So this year I'm finally going to get a whole season of off-season work.
Sorry, back to Fayetteville. It will be your only indoor race, or?
If I run, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And do you think that just one race to be at a big level is?
Yeah, really it's just if I run it, it's just to break up my training, just to see how things are going, and just to do something different. And like I said, if I'm anywhere close to it, then I'll try and go for it at the Tyson Invitational. But if not, it's just for practice.
And not having LaShawn around, looks like he won't be eligible for the U.S. champs. Do you kind of wish he was out there to push you a bit, or?
You know, honestly, it doesn't matter to me. Greg Dixon ran real well last year at U.S. Championships, went 44.6. We got a few guys coming up, the Gerald Betters that ran 44 throughout the mid-season last year. And then, of course, internationally, I had Jermaine Gonzalez that ran real well last year. So I know he's going to be there at World Championships and at all the Diamond League meets. So, you know, that's really what I have to look forward to right now is the ones that are running.
Tell me a little bit more about Jermaine Gonzalez. He won a bronze in Kingston in 2002. He's had a pretty bad last few years, but this year he really came on. Do you see him as much of a challenge for you in 2011 World Championships coming up?
You know, I've actually seen him run since 2002. I was actually at World Juniors that year. I was hurt, unfortunately, but you know, I've seen him mature throughout the years. You know, he has had unfortunately been injured a lot through his career, and all of a sudden last year, you know, he finally stayed healthy and was able to move up and start running consistently. And you know, anyone that runs consistent 44s like he was doing last season is a competitor. He's going to come out there and give it all he has. He did last year. He showed it. Every time he stepped on the track, he ran his hardest and was pretty much done at the end of the race. And you know, people like that is great for me because it makes me train even harder at practice to know that I have to step my game up just to make sure I stay ahead.
Jeremy, what was missing last year, do you think, from getting back to 43s?
The early season, not having my off-season work. You know, I had the surgery in September, so I didn't start training until late December when I usually start early November. And then in January, February area, I had to stop for about 3 to 4 weeks because I had a bone bruise on my other knee. So I lost all my strength early on that I was gaining. I lost it, and I didn't start getting that back until probably around June. And it was just a bad year early on, and so trying to be consistent wasn't working. It wasn't helping. So, you know, after U.S. Championships, I finally really worked on strength work. We stopped working on trying to get faster. We just worked on getting stronger. And because we know that I have the natural foot speed that if I get some strength with it, then I'm going to be pretty much okay throughout the races. So that was our main goal last year, was just to get the strength back up towards the end of the season. And then this year, just pretty much keep what I gained last year.
What was the exact procedure?
I had a scope surgery on my right knee, and then while they were in my knee cleaning up the meniscus tear, they actually found a Baker cyst on the back of my knee, which was messing with my hamstring. So they ended up taking that out. It was about a 2 to 3 week recovery process. So about 4 or 5 days after surgery, I started doing rehab, and probably about 3 weeks later, I was pretty much fine to start running if I wanted to. But we wanted to take it slow since it was early in the off season.
It was done in Texas.
Mm-hmm.